Gather around the campfire, kids, because today's video is going to be a very true life story. I don't know why it's taken as long as it did, but I realized I never had a chance to talk about my experiences having my artwork exhibited overseas. This is a direct successor to last week's video, where I talked about the difference between cheaper and more expensive artists. And I'm going to give you a couple of lessons that I learned and took from that experience that hopefully might help you guys along the way as well. The year was 2023. I was contacted out of the blue by artist extraordinaire and art curator Sven Sauer via my ArtStation account, and he was asking for something I could have never even imagined. He wanted to exhibit my art in a gallery in Berlin, Germany in the autumn of that year in a showcase surrounding environmentally focused, clean energy solar punk futurism. First of all, I thought it was a scam, but as we talked back and forth, I thought it might be for real until I didn't hear from him for perhaps about a week or two ahead of the actual event. Something in my gut told me to book the tickets because not only was there the offer to exhibit, but also an invitation to attend. So I got myself a plane ticket to Germany, and shortly after that, Sven sent me all of the resources and assets related to the event so I could begin promoting it online. And here are some of my takeaways from that experience. 1, someone is always watching. Even if it doesn't feel like your work is being seen, there's an audience for what you make that maybe hasn't found you yet or hasn't been vocal. The artworks that I made in 2021 were scouted 2 years later in a place that rarely ever crossed my mind, but had an incredibly talented and expansive art scene, audience, and palette of tastes. This means that as often as we get discouraged, it should cheer up both you and I to know that even if the acclaim and the attention doesn't come right away, what you do resonates with someone. And I always say, the people who need to be there will. And in the case of your art, the people who need to see it always do. Number 2, always do your best work and stand out. That means use all the techniques and skills you know and incorporate them as often as you can and as much as you can. This will make you unique to others in your sector. When I had initially created the solar punk artwork, it was for a contest on medium.com. When I had seen some of the artwork that it was referencing and some of the artists who were going to be entering, I was extremely intimidated. But I felt that I could do one thing very well that no one else could: animation. Even if it was just a simple movement, I felt like that would be enough to catapult my artwork to the top of the list, even amongst all these incredibly talented international artists. And it did that exactly. Not only was the vision praised, but the execution was as well. And I ended up taking first place in that contest, which was the beginning of my international career, essentially. The moral of that is to always give it your best. 3, have the right circle around you. That I even got into the position to get that kind of exposure started with my friend in Klang at the time, Jai, who introduced me to my soon-to-be friends, Salmia, who introduced me to Ashley, who introduced me to Lisa, who recommended that I enter the contest her friend Yishan was having because she believed in my art that I would be the perfect fit. Whereafter I was discovered by Sven and Clara. So if you have the right network and circle of friends who believe in your work and what you stand for, those connections will work themselves out. Get yourself some good people. Number 4, look into markets you aren't familiar with. Before submitting to Yishan's medium.com contest, I had no idea there was a market for solar punk and environmental artwork. I thought it was a niche, one-off sci-fi concept. Turns out there was a whole spectrum of people domestically and abroad who create communities around that idea and the principles within it. Find out what you haven't looked into yet and how far you can make that go. Number 5, the most important one, believe in yourself. Take the big swing. Once I got selected and invited to Berlin, and the trip was not expenses paid, it was a little scary to go there as it was my first time ever on a plane and overseas. It was going to be an expensive plane ticket and I didn't know anyone over there. Once again, the power of a strong network. At the end of the day, we all need people who believe in us, but even if we don't have that, the only thing that matters is that we believe in ourselves. And as much as I wasn't even sure if I was going to win this contest, 1% of belief is better than 0. And that percentage took me to Berlin, Germany, Gyeonggi-do, South Korea, and beyond. And I hope it can do the same for you. Thanks for listening to my story. I haven't had the chance to share it as far as I know. So I hope you guys got something out of today's video. I'll see you in the next one.